All right, so just do a quick recap before we get started. So we've worked through the takeoff on this one. We've got everything covered. We have pushed it all across to SimPro. We selected our cost centers and pushed it all across to SimPro. We have all of our information taken from the specification and added into our scope of works document, which I have closed, and I'll just open up again. Bear with me. Here it comes. So that's there, and now we are going to build this quote. So here's all of our scope of works information, and this is where we're going to take most of the information from to be able to put together this quote. So start off with alarm and access control. So pretty basic rundown of SimPro quickly. Main details page just gives us all of our costings and a pretty brief breakdown. Info tab is where we keep our scope of works. The tender form will pull from here. Any additional notes will go over here. We'll also create a link to our OneDrive document. So this is where we'll keep all of the scope of works, those kind of things. So I'll create that hyperlink soon and set that up. This is where our due date and all that information lands. So this was due on the 18th of the 6th. We ran a little bit late, but that's okay. This will update when we send automatically, and we just have to input this date when we actually set it up, and this is going to push across into our dashboards to update to meet our KPIs or to reflect our KPIs for quoting targets. This is just the initial email. So Stephanie, when she's creating the leads, will drag the email in. So it's just a good habit. So we've got a reference point. And apart from that, it's all pretty basic stuff. So into our cost centers, this is where everything is built. So alarm access control, CCTV. I'll start off by renaming this to inner range integrity alarm and access control, and we're taking that information from the manufacturer of the access control alarm system. Saving that, and same with this. Now becomes Hanwha milestone CCTV. Right, so inside of the cost center, similar setup to the main. You've got your little dashboard, shows you your parts, and when we actually start adding some parts in, you'll see that this will start to reflect what this is, how it's actually built up, and then you've got your costs down here. Another info tab. We don't use this info tab in here. We keep all of our info out on the main info tab, so nothing to worry about in here, and nothing really to worry about inside the settings tab either. So we really work on the summary tab. So details and summary. Parts and labour is where we will start to build everything. Customer assets is another thing we don't have to worry about for the moment. So let's get started. I've been creating takeoff templates to make this as simple as possible. So this is where all of our items will pop up, and I'll show you how that works. What we're going to try and do is use these takeoff templates to build our billable items. So we start off with access control, and we are integrity inception. That's the system we're using this time. So we're using integrity. We're not doing a integrity server or workstation PC, so we're not going to worry about this box. We will need the head-end. So we need a main controller, a door controller. So this is where we're going to start. So we're going to put in one of those. Sorry, I clicked the wrong one. I'm going to have to go back and fix that up. Apologies. So I'll just select these items. Sorry about that. Simple and easy to remove, so don't have to worry about making mistakes. We can remove things from inside the cost centers. All right, so back into our takeoff templates. Integrity head end is what I was looking for. And we're going to add in one of those. We need software, door licenses, and CCTV licenses. So we're going to grab one of those. That's pretty good in here. Now, Cipher is the type of card reader or credentials that we're going to use. So Cipher is an inner range brand, and I'll show you in some other videos where we take this information from. I can show you quickly now where you would typically find the information. So when we're scrolling through in here, and we can see products, installer requirements, movement detectors, it would normally be in this area here. There'd be something that would say HID or Cipher, or that's typically what you're going to see. That is the two main ones, is HID or Cipher. Integrity is, so Cipher can only be used with the inner range suite of products. HID is global, so it can be used across different manufacturers. We can go more into that at another time. But yeah, there's nothing here stating that the manufacturer of the card readers. So we're going to use Cipher just to make it simple in this situation. So back in here, we're going to grab Cipher. So we've got electric strikes, single mag locks, double mag locks, auto doors. In our billable items, we've got 6 card readers, 4 of which are electric strikes. And I must have deleted the auto doors. So there's 2 auto doors that I've actually accidentally deleted 2 auto doors. So we're going to grab 4 electric strikes and 2 auto doors from our takeoff template. So simple as putting in 4 and 2. When we come back over here to our billable items, we're going to start getting rid of some of this. So we need the ISC control. That's our main controller, main integrity controller. SLAM 4-door controller kit. So we were talking about 4-door controllers in the other video. The 4-door controller is our go-to, and when we need to keep spares up our sleeve, we would normally go for multiples of the 4s rather than going to down to 2s. If we're really looking to meet a budget, we would go down to 2-door controllers as well to try and reduce costs. Obviously, you can see here there's a cost difference. ILAMs are intelligent door controllers. We really only use the intelligent door controllers when they're either asked for in a specification or where we're having to use door controllers away from the main controller. I'll explain that in more detail when that pops up. So in this instance, we're going to use 2 SLAM 4-door controllers, which means that this item can be removed. So we're just going to highlight those for the moment because we're going to remove those in a second. There was also no additional zone inputs on this job, so I can get rid of these items. They're not required. And there's no lift, so we use these items for lift relays for controlling lift. So there's no lift, so I can get rid of those as well. So we've got our main controller and our 2 4-door controllers with those items. That's just simple and easy to remove. So we can do the same thing here now. Alarm, panel, and 4-door controller. So that's those 2 items gone. Then we're on to our software. So professional software is the go-to for just functionality. There's additional extras that come along with the business edition, corporate edition. Express is a real basic software that doesn't get used a lot, and we're going to use professional in this instance. So I'm just going to highlight the ones that I don't need, and we're going to remove them. So our software's here now. I'll drag it up higher just so it's away and we can keep working through. Sometimes you just need to save. If you want to drag something in Simpro, you just need to save and then it will let you drag it up. So we've got our software, we've got our controller and our 2 4-door controllers. Additional door licenses. Integrity software comes with 16 doors included, so 16 door licenses included. So if we were to go to 17 doors, if we had 17 doors on a project, we would then have to start, or 17 or more doors on a project, we would have to start adding in the door licenses. So this job has no requirement for the extra door license. It's only 6 doors, so we don't actually require that. Now, one thing that I have just remembered is that this job requires a CCTV integration. So the business software, the Integrity business software actually includes CCTV integration. So what I'm going to do for this in this instance is I'm actually going to include the professional to business upgrade in the CCTV cost center. I believe it may get taken out through value management when this project actually moves forward. So I'm going to do this one a little differently. So I don't need the extra 8 CCTV camera licenses. And you can see it's business only. So we've got the professional here. We'll do that in the CCTV cost center. So we can highlight that, move it. Okay. So based on the takeoff templates before, we ended up with 4 electric strike doors and 2 auto doors. So here they are. So we've got 6 card readers now, which that's that. We've got your 4 electric strikes. We've got 4 read switches, which we only need 2 of. So we can change that to a quantity of 2. And this is now starting to populate our cables too. So we mentioned in previous conversations that we use averages for our cable lengths. So this is basing on a 50-meter cable average for this job. So